Ademola. I'm your personal teacher on commerce. The topic we'll be taking now is hire purchase. By the end of the lesson, students should be able to define hire purchase, parties to hire purchase, features of hire purchase, conditions for hire purchase, merits and demerits of hire purchase, and termination of hire purchase. I will be defining hire purchase. Hire purchase is a form of agreement in which owner transfer possession of goods to the hirer after paying an initial deposit, while e retain ownership after the full installment is paid. This means the goods are on hire, they are not owned by the buyer until the final payment is made. Parties to hire purchase: we have the dealer, the hirer, and the finance company. My colleague will come in to continue from where I stop, who will be discussing.
Good day, class. My name is Bakari Sindia Tomolabake. I'll be your commerce teacher for this period. Just like my colleague, Mrs. Rukaya Tabiola, said earlier, she has explained the meaning of hire purchase. I am here to talk about the features of hire purchase. At the end of the class, every student should be able to explain the features of hire purchase. Let's proceed. Firstly is the ownership. The buyer does not own the goods until the full payment is made. Secondly, installment payment. The buyer pays for the goods instrumentally over an agreed period of time. The third one is the hire period. The buyer has possession and the use of the goods during the hire period. The last one there is option to purchase. The buyer has the option to purchase the goods at the end of the hire period. Now let's move to the conditions for hire purchase. An agreement must be sealed between the buyer and the seller, outlining the terms and conditions. Number 2 is the deposit. An initial payment or deposit is usually required. Thirdly, installment payment. Regular payments are made over the agreed period. Number 4, completion of payments. Ownership transferred to the buyer upon completion of all payments. And the last one, which is default of payment. Penalties or repossession may occur if payments are missed, which means the buyer can have the possession of the goods if the seller defaults. Thank you. My other colleague will go further on this topic.
Students, my name is Ozemi Fomakit and I'm your personal teacher for commerce. I'll be taking you on the subtopic merit and demerit of hire purchase contracts. Another word for merit is also known as advantages. Here are some advantages we'll be looking at today. 1. Immediate use of goods. The buyer is liable to use the goods immediately after purchasing it, even though full payment is not made. 2. It is absolutely budget friendly. 3. It is convenient for the buyer to make payments. Okay, that means the buyer can make instrumental payments. 4. It encourages business growth. 5. It helps the buyer to acquire expensive items. For example, you're a student and you want to get a laptop. You know on a normal day that the price of the laptop, you don't have that amount on you. You can acquire the laptop through this means. Let's look at the demerit of hire purchase contract. 1. Higher total cost. This means that the interest rate is always higher than the cash price. 2. No ownership until final payment. It means that the buyer is not the full owner of that goods until he has made all necessary payments. 3. High risks of repossession. It means that the seller has full rights to collect the item back if the buyer refuses to pay. 4. Liability. If the goods get damaged on the buyer's possession, the buyer is totally responsible for that. That will be all for today's class. My colleague, Ms. Aisha, is going to take you on the termination of hire purchase contract. Thank you.
Good morning, class. My name is Ademola Aishat Adetom. I'm from Business Education Department. I'll be taking you commerce. Topic on termination of hire purchase contracts. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to define termination of hire purchase contracts, method of termination. So definitions of termination of hire purchase contracts refers to ending the agreement between the hirer and the owner before all payments are completed. For example, a car bought under HB for 20% euros, including interest. After paying 10%, the hirer can return the goods and not pay further payments if no damages is begged. So we have 4 methods of termination. 1, voluntary termination. The hire can decide to terminate the contract. 2, termination by the owner. The owner can decide to terminate the contract if the hirer has damaged the goods. 3, mutual agreement. The 2 parties can agree to terminate the contract or end the contract. 4, termination due to frustration. The both parties, they can decide, they can come, collaborate together that they don't want to continue the contract again anymore if the 2 parties has no fault about the damage of the goods. So that is our today's topic. Thank you.